This is a game which I have cleverly titled Information Hunt. Boring title, great game. To play this game successfully, you need just a few things. It is super helpful, as you see behind me, to have a computer lab. And what I love about this computer lab is that it's arranged in tables so that the group can work together. So I'm going to divide people into teams, and each team is going to sit at one computer table together. The other thing that you need is a projector so you can project your questions and project the score. Scoring is important in high school. Competition is a valuable tool. I don't have a whiteboard in my library. It would work great if I did, but I have a workaround. I just set up 4 stations, one for each team, and I just put a giant Post-it pad and markers there. And each team knows where their table is, and when they're ready to answer a question, they run to their station, write the answer down, and call it good. You could also mess around with like those small lap-size whiteboards. You could have students try holding those up to answer, but I like the movement that's involved in standing up, running from your computer to your station and writing your answer. It makes it feel more like a race, and again, I feel like movement helps brain power. So I've done the Biography Center, but you could really use this game with any sort of database that you're trying to teach your students how to learn. So the reason I like this is because a lot of times I'll teach my students how to use a database, and they give me the thumbs up, yeah, we got it, we know how to do it. But then I start to watch them actually put it into action, and they haven't paid attention, or they haven't understood exactly all the things available to them and how to use them. So after I teach them quickly how to use a database, I like to use a game like this and have them prove to me that they know how to use it. And in showing me that they know how to use it, a lot of times that's the way that they actually learn how to use it, right? So here's how the game works. Imagine that at each of these 4 tables, I have 4 teams of students sitting together, and all of the students are logged onto their computer, onto World Book Online, into the Biography Center, and they're just waiting for me to pull a question up on the screen. So I, from my PowerPoint, throw up a question. This question says, name 3 African American civil rights leaders. As a group and as individuals in the group, they each search the database that I've asked them to search. See up on the PowerPoint there, I've told them on the upper left-hand side where in the database they need to look. So they need to be looking in biography collections. So as a team and as individuals, they're working together to find 3 answers, because this asks for 3. And each answer has to be given by a different person on their team. So when they have an answer, they will jump up and run to their assigned table, write the answer here, another person will come write another answer, another person will come write another answer, all while other teams are running to their stations to write their answers. And when they get 3 African American civil rights leaders, they will hold up their big Post-it pad and show me. Question 1 will be done. In total, we'll probably be playing this game for 10 or 15 minutes is all. But as you can see, throughout the game, they're learning to use different areas of the database. The question behind me is from the biography search, and it asks them to list 2 details from the life of Michelle Obama. Okay, so we're getting kids working together and individually on the database. We're getting kids jumping up and running and finding answers. And remember, for point scoring, they get points for any unique answer that they give. So there's going to be a lot of information on their database about Michelle Obama. I don't want them to just write the first thing that pops up, right? Because that's probably what everybody's going to try and write. So I'm giving them points for a unique answer. For anyone that digs a little deeper into the research that they find, instead of just clicking on the first thing, they're going to find a unique answer, and they're going to get an extra point for that. If I ask for 4 answers, 4 different people on the team have to write an answer. It can't be just one person that jumps up and runs and writes all 4 answers, okay? So this is my way of making sure that all of the students are participating in learning how to use the database, and not just the one who always volunteers answers, right? I have to have 4 different people if I ask for 4 different parts of the answer. Within the PowerPoint, I've got a scorekeeping page so that after each round, I can just go in and adjust the scores for each team live as they're watching. And then I can just jump back to my PowerPoint and go to the next question. Easy. Okay, so let's say I ask the question, name 4 female athletes from the last 100 years. Okay, so I've asked the question, and so 4 students from each team have jumped up, they've run over to their table. 4 different students have written down 4 different answers to the question. Okay, they wrote Michelle Kwan, Bonnie Blair, Gabby Douglas, Steffi Graf. Great, they did this part of the assignment right, but now it's time for the follow-up question. The follow-up question is important because it gets them not just looking for random information, but digging deeper into the information they find. So I need to be on my computer, as you can see I am right here, I need to be on my computer as I see them answering questions, also very familiar with the database and looking up what they're looking up so that I can ask a follow-up question. So they've written down 4 names, and I might throw back to one team, okay, Michelle Kwan, team, and this could go to the students who are still sitting at the computer, right? Not the ones who jumped up and ran to give an answer. We're going to involve more students this way, so I can say, hey, team, what year did Michelle Kwan win the U.S. National Championship? And they've got to continue looking in the database to find the answer, okay? So that's the follow-up question. Information hunt. Hopefully it's high energy and it's high research oriented, and it doesn't take very long, 10 to 15 minutes, and then your students are ready to go on whichever database you want them to learn how to use.